Welcome back to the Most Valuable Podcast. I am Mark Williams with my colleague
Victor Castro.
and we're just two dudes who do real estate for a living. And today we have a special guest, the owner of Base Hair Studio here in Walnut Creek, Rodrigo Romero. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate
you guys having me.
I know you had to squeeze us in being a new dad, so congratulations on that.
I appreciate you guys.
But we wanted you on this show, or Victor was like, hey, let's get my barber on this show because you are a small business owner, just like we are, and we've had other non-real estate agents on this show, but it's good to bring entrepreneurs like yourself in because there's a lot of similarities to how businesses are run and to how run a successful business, right?
Correct.
You know, anyone can start a business. It's how long can you keep that business going? And how long has Base been around for?
So we've been in Walnut Creek. We've been in there for like about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we started small, a studio.
Yeah.
And then in the shop that you seen, we actually been there for like a year and a half now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So, just my point, 5 years.
Yeah.
I did small business when I used to work for the bank. And when I would have new people come and sit at my desk. And my job as the small business specialist was to set them up with their finances and merchant services and payroll if they needed it and business credit. And my pitch to them would be, you have 6 months. Most small businesses don't make it past month 6. I'm here to help you financially put yourself in a position to make that happen. But in like the statistics, I don't know, it might even be lower now.
Yeah.
But the statistics are like back then where 6 months, if you don't make it 6 months, then, so to make it 5 years, man, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And a year and a half in your new spot. And your new spot is dope too. So
thank you. Appreciate
but we're going to jump into it. I know Victor has some questions for you. So let's jump into it, Victor.
Yeah, man, I just want to add, thank you again for, taking on the invitation. I've been getting cut by you for how many years now, bro?
It's been I want to say a little over 6-7 years for sure.
Something like that now. And, I see your growth.
Thank you.
And I want to have everyone, learn a little piece about that growth and, get to know you a little bit better as well.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So yeah, man, who is Rodrigo Romero? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself. I know you're married now and, you have a kid now.
Yeah.
But leading up to marriage, tell us a little bit about that, the struggles and stuff like that, and how Base Hair Studio came about.
Yeah, sure thing. So, as you all know, my name is Rodrigo Romero, and I go by Rod. My Instagram is baserod_. And the first thing about myself, I was born in Mexico, born in Jalisco, but my family is Michoacan, a little place called El Rincon. And we came over here. I was about 5, 6, 7 years old. The journey was about, like your typical immigrant family, trying to go forward. My family my dad was in business. He owned a restaurant, which a lot of the locals do know. And my mom was just a stay-at-home wife. And, the journey was pretty good until at one point where, there comes this change in your course of life where it's like, the divorce happens, all this happens, and it's like I want to say there's a lot of people that can relate, that want to do,
me,
me as well. My parents got divorced as well.
Yeah. So it's like being like at the age I was like 16 years old when all this happened, and it's like a challenge. It's like you go through this like mental like challenge where it's like either for us being men, it's like you break out and you become a man at such a young age, So it's like that's where I want to say my mindset started changing, where it's like, okay, now I need to look at like, how do I help my mother out? How do I do this? I have a little brother, 2-year-old, and I have a sister. And so I was like, that's where I want to say my mindset started changing to like, all right, how do I build an income without knowing, literally what I was doing, So it's like after that, it just came about. I grew up locally. I worked locally at a restaurant called La Tapatia. I started off as a busboy, then a waiter, and then I joined barber college. The way I came about into this industry of the beauty industry, I was cutting all my friends. The funny thing, I didn't want to. I was mostly forced to, because in the beginning, my mom was cutting my hair, and a lot of Latino kids, they all have the mushroom haircut, and I was that one kid, you know. And then I remember my mother, she was cutting my hair. She was on the phone, the cheese man.
Yeah.
And then she had the clipper on one hand and then the phone, but the phone was about to fall. So she had this little like twitch. Next thing you know, that little twitch ended up creating like a two over here when I had a mushroom haircut.
So you got your hair all messed up because
Dude,
of it.
I was looking like a monk.
Oh.
So after that, I want to say like it was up to me where it's like I just grabbed the clipper and I just bust my hair off to like a 2 or 3.
Got you.
Mhm.
And then luckily I had a friend that was going to a barbershop near Concord High School. That's where I went. And one of the barbers there, and I'm gladly to share his name because I always looked up to this guy. His name is Abraham. Owns those no, not caballeros, yeah,
I know
caballeros.
Abraham. Yeah.
Oh,
So
the spot in the veranda.
yeah,
I got my haircut once there. Not by him, but I think Christian goes there.
Yeah, Christian goes
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's a cool little spot.
yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's like this guy taught me, how to do, a typical haircut, classic. It started off easy with just a taper, and I was just doing that at home. And I want to say, thanks to that guy, it motivated me to be more of a perfectionist in this industry, where it's like, okay, when I was doing it on myself, I would practice, and I would see like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start seeing things like that, it's like now you're thinking as a client perspective, and this is what I mean. It's like I wasn't noticing what I was picking up. So it's like all this led up to like where we at now. It's like the journey has been good. I've been doing it for about 16 years now.
Oh wow, nice.
16 years now. So the journey has been a pretty rough, and then also it bloomed.
Rewarding?
Yeah, it bloomed into like I want to say like when, for example, we finished this new the new barbershop. Um, me and my wife kind of like were like we reached our expectations. We were like it's so surreal. Like we were photoshopping things from like 9 at night to like 2 in the morning, putting it together, and then to physically see it all happen, like really come down and look better than what we thought.
Yeah.
It's pretty a crazy feeling, just because like you work hard for something, you work hard for a vision. And like for example, you guys brought MVP real estate because of a vision that was born, right? And that's how things happen. I feel like that's how entrepreneurship is. It's supposed to be a visionary. It's supposed to be self-driven, because nobody pushes the entrepreneur. You can look at any YouTube video and
Yeah.
you might not even get motivated. You might be in the middle of the video, and like myself, I have some sort of ADHD and I get distracted.
Yeah.
You got to have that drive.
You have to.
Yeah.
I want to say you have to, because you hold yourself accountable at that point for entrepreneurship. And it's not easy, It's
Nope.
not easy to like what we were speaking about, SEO, all this stuff that goes behind the scenes,
So,
That's
so on that topic. So 16 years, started from your mom giving you an unintentional buzz cut.
that's where I
Right.
was all born.
Yeah, gave you an unintentional buzz cut to, practicing in the mirror. And I gotta, that's one thing I want to touch base. I see, online. I know a couple people that cut hair as well, and I see them practicing or cutting their own hair.
Yeah.
That's got to like increase your skill set, like looking in the mirror, 2 mirrors to like
Yeah.
taper the back. And
Yeah. Some
I mean,
people
I don't try anything on myself, but so boom, you get there, you get your light,
I have
you-
enough trouble freaking lining my beard or shaving my beard, bro.
You get you kind of pick up from the trade. You got someone that maybe unintentionally mentored you, but kind of got you on the path. Get your license. Then I'm assuming that to kind of rewind a little bit, so that the initial years, were you like renting a chair somewhere, or were you just
Yeah.
cutting out of your garage? Or
So in the beginning of the years, I attended barber college in Oakland,
okay,
and I want to say that was an experience.
yeah,
like,
I bet
it was crazy. They weren't even cutting hair, they were shooting dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? it was a good experience, because you also meet different lives, different lifestyles, different journeys, which is like pretty interesting and cool, because now you meet a different a different person that comes from a different thread,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like when you come all together, it's just like it's good to learn about this person. It's good to learn about people. And especially like the type of industry I want to say we're in.
Mhm.
You know, you learn a lot about, you know, your customer. You learn a lot about like that person, his personal life. And it's like if anything, it's more like astonishing and motivating to me. It was like you really are trying to get it started, get sorry, get like a what's it called? Start your engine to something,
Yeah.
you know? Like it's when you barely you're building a car and it's like, dude, you don't even know if it's gonna turn on. This is where we all take a risk, you know? It's like you don't even know what you're gonna get out of it when you come in and join entrepreneurship, you know?
Yeah.
But
You're banking that it's gonna work,
yeah,
but no one has the crystal ball,
exactly.
right? And me and Mark, we're
And it's the how. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a very
it's-
similar, like to bring to the start of this podcast. You know, you have to get licensed to do this for a living.
Yeah.
Same with real estate. We have to get a license. There's only so much you learn from the book. The
Yeah.
book doesn't teach you how to
How
talk
to-
to a client.
Exactly.
Doesn't teach you how to take care of a disgruntled client.
Yeah.
They all don't go perfect, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's
sales techniques. Like
Yeah.
we've been in sales before, and like you too. Like
Yeah.
even though you were a waiter, a bus,
Yeah.
like it's all sales at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like you gotta sell,
You have to.
The-
Yeah.
you know, the
A service.
everything, the
Yeah.
service that you're
Yeah.
providing. So
Exactly.
yeah, man, I completely like respect your hustle. Like in that growth, man, for to where you're at right now, bro. Like I wish our viewers and listeners can, take a piece of that and run with it, bro.
Thank
I
you.
mean, they can follow him at Base Rod on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like 150,000 plus followers, which is super impressive. And we'll touch base on that a little bit. So, license, barber school in Oakland, shooting dice or cutting hair.
Choose
The thing is, though,
choose
like
your hustle.
growing up in San Francisco, I've been to some barber shops where it's like, I know that the main business wasn't cutting hair.
Yeah.
And that's a difference too about, what you're actually in the business for, right?
Yeah.
Another story. But okay, so you get your license, boom. First thing, are you looking to work at someone's shop or you just open up shop for yourself?
So in the beginning, I started off as a commission. Actually, I was working down at my friend's mom salon.
Okay.
That's where I first started.
So it wasn't a typical barber shop. It
No.
was like
This is before my barber's license.
so,
So
la
I was a-
señora like
in
on
a
the street
salon,
in a
yeah.
little
So do you get is it something you have to get credited hours for?
I want to say she did me a favor just because it's a longtime friend. We grew up together,
Yeah.
and she personally knew me, and I want to say it taught me a lot from like being a commission to where it's like I'll get it onto it where it's like the difference between commission and rental.
Okay.
It's like I learned that commission is more of a profit for ownership. It's like as an individual, like you work twice as hard, and this is it's like a safe zone. Like it's like if you don't have a clientele and the business could provide you this clientele, it's like, okay, that will work for you, but only for a short amount of time.
So is that where you are working at this salon
yeah,
and they provide the clientele
Yeah.
essentially, and then they take a cut from each haircut?
yes, correct.
But they're guaranteeing you clients.
Yes,
Doesn't that sound familiar when it comes to real estate?
Yes, it
That's what I'm
does.
saying. They're all intertwined. So in the real estate, you may not know this, Rod, but in the real estate world, we
Teams.
are more like the chair rental.
yeah,
We're more like the business owner, like yourself, right? And then there's people that are like the chair rental, where they'll be on like a big team, like Keller Williams, like a local brokerage that provides them like office space and provides them tools, but they still have to source kind of their own clientele, and then that brokerage takes a bigger cut because they're providing them like the overhead.
yeah,
Okay, we're more like you, where we provide our own overhead.
right.
We do everything ourselves, and then we have like a small fee we pay for like insurances through our brokerage, right?
Right.
Then there's the ones that are like the commission-based barbers, where there's these big teams out there, and it's not a bad thing, but there's these big teams, 50, 100, 200 agents on like one team. But it's for those that are like usually starting off
Yeah.
aren't comfortable or don't have the skill set yet to source business. So they're fed leads through like Zillow and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then Zillow takes money from them. The person
The
who runs
team
the team
and
owner
the broker.
Yeah.
and the broker. So, put things in perspective. It could be like a $20,000 commission check and they're walking away with like $5,000.
Yeah.
Where like me and Victor are walking away with 20 grand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's really the whole view behind even the industry that I'm in.
Yeah.
This is where it connects like with your guys' industry. It's because it's all entrepreneurship. It's all up to you, how
Yeah.
busy you want to be and all this. So now the form of payment is like, okay, like you want to be either your own personal boss or do you want to be the commission guy,
Yeah.
But it's like you worded perfectly where it's like, okay, this is where it is as a starter. This is where you start, and then you build yourself, and then you move forward like
Yeah.
you guys did.
Nice. So you go from the commission share, and what's next? What's the
So
next step?
after that, I get my license. I was about, I want to say 19 years old. I go into a barbershop in Oakley first. I forgot the name of it. It was just so long, but literally, I cut one of my wife's cousins there. No, actually, I didn't even cut him there. It was my first day, and then I was just like driving to Oakley, and I was like, man, this is pretty far.
I mean, that's where I
You
live,
know what I
man.
mean?
That's where he lives.
I'm trying to think. I was like, well, I wonder
Yeah.
if it's one of the barbershops that was it off of Main Street?
This was like, first off, it was probably about like, I'm 32 now, so it's like about like
I wasn't even out
10
there yet.
years, maybe
Yeah, no, I
plus.
wasn't out there.
You know?
Oakley isn't what it
Yeah,
No,
what
yeah,
it was
crazy.
10 years
Yeah,
ago
it's
as opposed to
crazy
what
now.
it is today.
Way different now.
Way different.
No, so I wasn't out
Yeah.
there. That barbershop probably doesn't exist anymore.
I'm pretty sure. I go in there, dude. They gave me the key and everything. I go in there, and it's like the drive there was just persuading me, telling me like, dude, this is too far.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like I had my wife's cousin, and he was like, dude, this is pretty far. What
Are
do
you
we-"
coming from Concord or?
Yeah, from
Okay.
Concord.
Yeah.
We go in there. First day in the shop was my last day in there. I just literally like walked in and I just walked out and I just left the key on the station. I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if your client base is kind of from where you grew up,
Yeah.
right?
They're
yeah.
not gonna go to Oakley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing where it's like, now if since I was starting off, yeah, it wasn't going to work for me, but for somebody that is already knows how to do business, it's already established and or knows how to like, it's an expert at cutting hair, right? He'll be fine anywhere he goes. Like from that journey, and I'll go over it once we talk about like how I know that, because I went to, as you know, Victor, like I went to Spain and England to cut hair over there.
Oh, nice.
And that's
Yeah.
why I say that. And I answer once I get through this journey. Like when after that I ended up at a hair salon in Contra Costa. You remember Marilu?
Marilu.
She went to Ignacio Valley, hairstylist,
Oh
barber.
yeah.
She owned this hair salon over by you know where the Soccer Pro was? In and Out, Target, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Pleasant Hill.
Pleasant Hill.
Yeah.
I was there for about like, I want to say 3 to 5 years. And I work with a lot of good I want to say business owners now. I worked with some of the guys that work at the barbershop in the mall. I worked with one of my good friends that owned Lavish, Omar. He passed away, but he was a one of the greatest, I want to say, business owners out there, because he focused on the community. But this is where I'm coming to, where it's like your journey, you're learning off people, different mindsets, the way like people think. You mold yourself, So working there for about those 3 to 5 years, not only did I work with a good crew, but the owner there was really good. She was good at nails, hair, a hairstylist, barber, etc. The whole business, the whole trade. She was really good, and she taught me how to cut faster, how to
Taught
actually
you some tricks.
a lot of tricks. Yeah. So, it's like from there is where I want to say I kind of like sculpted my professional career. It started turning into a professional career, because it started off as a side hustle, and it started off as like, I don't know where I'm going with this, to like, okay, like this is my career and I'm gonna make the best out of it. So from there is where I came into downtown, which is a parlor, and that's where your cousin works,
Yep.
Koki.
Shout out to Koki.
So I work the I'm not I'll be completely honest. That was the most busiest shop I've ever like
Okay.
been a part of. Like in the beginning of the years, like dude, we had the line like literally outside the door, like insanely because the amount of talent we had in shop, you know? And a room full of great guys. Everybody was
Getting along.
yeah, it was a good shop. And then it came to a point where I was like, okay, like if I want to expand, I have to think outside the box now because I was thinking behind the chair. So now and this is where I'm grateful to meeting a good friend of mine now. His name is Ganga, a tattoo artist. I met him out here through one of my good friends. They were at a hookah lounge and he was looking for a barber, complimented his fade. Literally, how every client comes about. Oh, nice fade. You know, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of people that told you,
Yeah.
good. Hey, that's a
Wait,
nice
where do you
haircut,
get your
Victor.
haircuts, bro?
And then that's how a
Yeah.
client is born.
Yeah.
So met this guy. He didn't know English, but it was that Spaniard Spanish.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, as soon as he started talking, I was like, what did you say?
Yeah.
You have an
Vosotros,
accent,
what?
man.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I got to understand him. And then we became really close friends. And from him, I want to say like he developed my mind where it's like, okay, a brand and a business isn't just start up by just an individual. The vision starts off by an individual, but to grow the brand and a business, it's developed by a team. So by developing with a team,
Who you're
is
surrounded with.
exactly, and not just who you surround yourself with, and how can you develop people. Like the person needs to be wants to be
The leader.
Yeah, either first off, like right here, how you guys are. I'll take this for example. You guys started off this on your own. Now you're independent entrepreneurs, teaching yourself, coaching yourself.
Mhm.
Once you coach yourself and you have that drive that is like unshakable, you know, then can teach others. Now you can teach a whole group of 10 people. Not since it's a numbers game now. It's two of you guys. The numbers are like a lot better to be coaching others, you know, like your knowledge now, everything, your personal knowledge, your journey, that's when it comes into play. And it's a motivation to others because that's another thing that I tell my guys at the shop. You might not notice your growth, but people out there notice it 100%. And that's the thing where it's like your only thing to fix or to work on is the guy in the mirror. Literally. That's always been my mindset where it's like look in the mirror and how can you perfect that guy? And you could be the next role model, the next, you know, you can make MVP real estate the next big thing.
No, you bring up a good point, man, because I mean, in this industry, you got to have that individual
Yeah.
drive, and you got to want it more for yourself than someone else for you.
100%.
And I'm sure, I know you're saying this coaching stuff. I'm kind of thinking in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, well, we had like 6 people under us.
Yes. Yeah.
They're probably listening right now being like, oh, they don't want to coach. Look, we coach, but to your point,
You got to want to be.
it's this industry, like, for instance, at base, right? Hair
Yes.
studio. You may have if a chair came open, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have someone, obviously you're going to do your interview process, stuff like that. You want the right fit
Correct.
for base, right?
Yeah.
But that person, you can coach them up all you want.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they have to look, him or her need to look in the mirror
Yeah.
and have that same drive, maybe even a little bit more than what Rod had.
Yeah.
Because you already have this.
Yeah.
Right. This is what they're inspiring to be.
Yeah.
And it's very like in this industry, like we had a team of individuals, and it was like, okay, well, you got to be open minded, right? So if an individual is very closed minded, they're
Yeah.
gonna cherry pick what they want to hear, but they're never gonna fully understand
Yeah.
why we're saying this stuff, right?
100%.
And it's more. I felt when we were in that thing, I felt more. So I come from before real estate. I've been doing real estate 8 years. Before that, I came from retail, but I came from management. I've
Mhm.
been a manager of everything I've ever done since 20.
Oh, wow.
Right. So from managing the Sharper Image, which doesn't exist anymore, to a bank manager, to having at the peak of my career like 40 plus employees, right?
Yeah.
All I did all day was hear everybody's problems, customers, and my customers are my employees,
Yeah.
and my success is based on their success, type of thing, right? So I got into this industry a little bit more to be more about Mark, but to your point, you get to a point where you feel a little like you're missing something if you
Right.
can't share what you did to get where you're at.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what our idea was on building a team. But, maybe we just haven't found the right individuals yet
Yeah.
for that part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we also
100%.
knew when it was time to cut ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from my experience as management. It's like, look, this ain't going nowhere. Hey, best of luck. I wish them all the best.
Yeah.
But
100%.
just not with us.
And I
Yeah.
think that transition for you, it's like it's very. I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, from a outsider getting a haircut by you, I see that transition, and
Yeah.
I noticed that you wanted to surround yourself with like-minded people that had
Yeah.
the same vision
Yeah.
or similar vision. You
Similar,
cannot have
yeah.
the same, but
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to do that, then your business is going to thrive.
100%.
And that's what me and Mark, like, that's what we're thinking. Like, maybe we just didn't have the right set of individuals with us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Best of luck to them. But MVP still has a vision that we're not going to change because someone else doesn't have the same vision.
Right.
Yeah, and
So-
it helped us grow too.
Yeah.
Like it made us realize what how do I put it? Like to your point, the commission chair and then the the rented chair
Yeah.
and then the actual like owner of the business is in this business, it's helped us structure our business to know that in order to start bringing people on,
Yeah.
we may need to be able to supply that commission seat.
Yeah.
Like we may need to be able to spoon feed somebody
Yeah.
some business in order for them to grow and develop. And maybe at that point when we started a team, we're not like we never really did that ourselves.
Yeah.
So we kind of didn't even think twice about, hey, do we really need to do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you live and you learn, right?
That's
You live-
that's the whole like beauty of the journey of entrepreneurship, literally, and especially when you own your own business. It's like you never stop learning, you never stop developing. The thing is, when for example, like I've been through the same things. When you're talking about like when you don't share either the wrong individuals, but I don't want to say the wrong individuals. I just want to say that they were just not prepared, just because you have expectations for your
Yeah.
business. You have expectations over here. And it's like now what helps and what helped me was developing systems.
Yeah.
But like I'm thankful to have the team that I have right now. And you met the team right there. You guys met them. You met Cole and his sister. Like it's just everybody brings
Shout out
something
to Social
the
Crew.
yeah. And you have every individual in there has something to bring forth to the table where it's like it could be not just haircutting, it could be like how their mindset is, how their drive is, what they do outside that helps the business. There's many different ways that an individual can help the business improve. Maybe they don't have for example, maybe they don't cut the most hair, but it's like they provide more than just hair. It could be a conversation, it can be an atmosphere, everything, and just brings everything together. It brings the whole team, the room, and it just makes the whole brand an
Compliment.
experience.
You
Yes,
complement each other.
100%.
Nice.
And one thing before we move on from it, even Jair.
Yeah.
Like he started with me since the start of base. So
Okay.
it's we started in 2020 COVID time.
Yeah.
And the development, like he's a perfect guy that has seen it all happen, right? And I want to say I bring him up because his development has been also inspiring and also encouraged a lot of people out there. His development he used to work at a barbershop in Pleasant Hill also, but then having somebody that is accustomed to different what do you call that systems or different or habits. How do you develop somebody to kind of like get to the page that you want to be,
Yeah.
especially being a new business? It's like the thing is about entrepreneurship and ownership, I want to say is you really have to be about your word, and you really have to be a doer.
Yep.
Like you just have to be whatever you say, you have to do it. Like you have to be
I'm gonna
someone
do
about
this,
your word.
and
What Marshawn Lynch used to say, I'm about that action.
Yeah,
You gotta be about that
yeah,
action.
You have to be about that action, man, for real. Because after that, like, let's say all you're doing is like you're promising the stars and the moon to somebody, and you're not delivering.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what kind of like sets a and it not just sets apart from the team, but it's also kind of like tainting the name of the brand, the
Yeah.
name of the business,
in the
you know?
industry, man.
Yeah,
The
that's
industry.
in general.
Well, like
yeah.
we speak about this all the time.
Yeah.
Like our industry. Maybe you can elaborate on that on your industry on your half, but our industry is very diluted. We like
Well, you get. I mean, I would say barber. Yeah. I mean, there's probably a. So my buddy, this guy I grew up with, and his business partner, they do the barber academy. I think it's called the Academy out in like San Francisco, top of the
Oh,
hill,
okay.
Daly City. So they had they started a barber shop like in the neighborhood that I grew up in, and then they started a barber school.
Yeah.
And I wish them all success. I think they expanded to another thing,
Oh,
but it's
that's
just like
nice.
real estate. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a ton of people that get their license and that's all they do with it,
Yeah.
right? So it's just it's the same thing with real estate. You get a lot of
It's
people that get
inflated.
their
Yeah.
it's inflated.
Yeah.
And they're not providing any special like service to
Yeah.
the client. They're just discounting their services
Exactly.
because they're like, oh, whatever, I can make a quick $20.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to the to base because their pricing is
Oh,
is
100%.
higher.
Yeah. And we've heard that
And
a couple
but
times
you
too.
get what you pay for,
Yeah, 100%.
right? And it depends on the client.
Yeah.
If you're okay with getting a $20 haircut,
Yeah.
but having some weird lines in
Yeah.
your fade, then it's up to you.
This is the thing where I want to say like what we're about is like there's clientele and there's business for everybody out there.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you charge $10. It doesn't matter if you're either just learning or barely getting up or somewhat good. There's clientele for everybody out there.
Right.
So to me, what I'm about, I love that like there's success out there for every single person. That success is not far from a reach. So you take it in mind, like Supercuts is busy compared to like
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Supercuts to somewhere where we're at, it's a big gap. Like what we're about,
That's
we
more corporate, right? More
yes, it's more quantity.
Yeah.
It's just quantity. It's just getting in
over
Yeah.
quality.
as much as you can.
Yeah.
And what we're about is like we acknowledge the people that we get because of the lifestyle you have, the things you do for business. You if your image is literally your image is your business.
Yeah.
So we focus on that for you. It's like we want to help you look right to also perform good. Because let's say, for example, you have somebody as a realtor and you don't look the part.
You don't look the
look
part.
Look
Yeah.
like you just
You don't
got
look
you
sharp.
got out of bed.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I trust this dude.
Yeah.
You know?
I
No,
mean, yeah. Image is
It's the first
in
impression.
in a society which I feel is shifting back to being normal. Right? I know we're not talking about politics, but society is shifting back to being normal, where it's not normal to not be presentable.
Yeah.
It's not normal to not take care of yourself and everyone just be okay with something.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't care what generation you're from. That's not acceptable. That's not what this country is built on, right?
Yeah.
It's built on like performing at a high level,
Yeah.
right? And part of that is like being presentable.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go sell $1 million house, being a homeowner myself, someone's gonna sell my $1 million house, right? Victor looks presentable. He's got a good haircut.
Yeah.
Gets his beard lined up. I'm sure if it was a big deal, like $1 million property, even
Yeah.
a small deal, he's gonna make sure he's presentable to his client, right? And showcase who he is.
Right.
I don't picture Victor coming in like a suit and tie, but he's gonna be very put together, business casual, done up, and very presentable. To your point, though, if I interview agent number 2, and he looks like he just rolled out of bed and his shirt's all wrinkled.
Yeah.
Hey, how is he
Yeah.
gonna manage my listing here?
Exactly.
Kind of
And
don't trust you.
exactly, and that comes even for in our part too, where it's like you go into a barber and your barber also doesn't look the part. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna
Like,
try
who
to
cut your hair?
yeah, for real.
No, 100%. It's not, yes, the image
Yeah.
and what you're portraying,
Yeah.
but also that service that you're giving, like
Yeah.
you're not getting cut by a barber that is going to be giving you a hear, like, I don't know, like hearful
Yeah.
of his problems.
Yeah.
Or just in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And being snobby with you. It's like, yeah, man, your haircuts are dope, but I mean, I
But you
don't want to
provided
sit
me more
here and
stress
listen
than
to
anything.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's an experience.
It's
They're
an
paying for
experience.
Yeah,
It's an
1000%.
100%. And-
Yes.
It's more than a haircut. It's an experience.
Yes,
right?
100%.
I know. I can only speak for myself. As a man, like, it's hard. Like, I've moved. I can look back to as many barbers as and it's funny, like, looking back to, like, my journey into, like, barber shops and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Growing up, you get cut at, like, Supercuts or
100%.
Master Clips, or to your point, all throughout high school, I just had my own razors. I just
Yeah.
kept it short,
It's
like
quick.
a 1 or 2, right? And then when I did grow it out, maybe I had, like, a friend, like, braid it for me and stuff. That's when that was in, type of thing, when I had hair. But then my first time going to a barber shop, I was actually, my mom had moved out to Vegas, and she was like getting my little brother's haircut. And I went to this dude, and like, he lined me up, and it looked real clean, bro. I felt like $1 million. I felt like $1 million bucks.
That changed you.
I was sold. And
Yeah.
then it was just like, okay, like, who do I know that can cut like this when I got back home? And it's funny, there's actually you probably know him. He goes by Julius Caesar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. I used to get my haircut by him in his grandma's garage
Oh,
for
that was
$20.
like back in the day.
Yeah, way back. I don't even think he was 18 yet, right?
wow.
So, like, way back in the day, I used to go to him, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm moving to, like, LA or something."
Yeah.
And I said, "Best of luck." And then I found another barber who, then you, like, shop around, and I found one guy that owns a barber shop in South San Francisco called Feel Good Cuts. I think they've been in business for like 15 plus years, something like that. And I went to him. Like, you go to them. And then I moved out to Oakley. You weren't cutting there, obviously. You left day one. And I shopped around. I went to a couple of different places. And the guy that cuts my hair now, Chris, he owns Native Hair Studio in Brentwood. Same thing, though. I saw him from I went to him since him getting his license,
Yeah.
renting a chair. And then that business, the guy was dissolving the business, and he just decided to, like, open up his own spot. And now he has, like, 2-3 more chairs in his spot. And he has some hairstylists as
Yeah.
well. But I've been going to him since. And it's one of those things, it's like, when he had a kid or he got sick, it's like, damn, who cuts my hair? Like,
Yeah.
I look kind of rough for a little bit, So it's more like there's this weird, like, as a man, I'm looking for someone that I know. One, I'm going to get a good haircut.
Yeah.
The service is good. And
Yeah.
then, we talk about stuff,
Yeah.
bro. It's almost like a friendship is built
100%.
through a haircut.
It's literally it's just trust. Literally. The trust is the number one thing because you have people telling you like crazy stories. That's one thing for sure, man. We have crazy
hey,
stories.
trust me,
No, you probably hear everything.
Rodrigo knows a lot. Rodrigo knows a lot.
Hey, you better be tipping Rod real good.
What does that meme say? He's like, I charge by what I know.
No, hey, that's what our videographer.
No,
Shout out
he's
to
talking
Shadow,
about-
that's what he says.
He's talking about the cheese bay, bro. He's talking about what he knows now.
No,
Oh,
but
man.
no, 100%, dude, 100%. I think the experience is that's the reason why I go to you
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
and I support your business, and I feel like I'm gonna always support it, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And I want to circle back. I know we kind of went on the tangent, which is great, man. You have tons and tons of great information for anyone that's listening. You
Yeah.
know, if they're looking for to get a good haircut. Now you know where to go if you're in the Concord, Walnut Creek, Pleasant Hill, unless you want to drive, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we kind of left everyone on a cliffhanger about you cutting hair in Europe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
circle back to that. 'Cause
Yeah, tell us
everyone's
about that
probably listening right now.
experience.
Like,
I know a
that's
little
great
bit about it,
information, but how'd you make your way out to the UK and to Spain?
Yeah.
so this is the thing where it's like I said, my friend Ganga, he's the one that like opened up my mind where it's like, okay, like I noticed how he was doing business in the sense of like no fear behind it. But like I was mentioning, there's also a great team behind a good entrepreneur, behind a good brand. There's always a good team, not a good team, but a great team. And it's like, it's not born from one day to another. It's literally like, from what I've seen, is slowly built. It takes patience. It takes a lot of time from you, and that's what I'm noticing. Being a new dad is like, and for all the dads out there, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy because if it was too easy, everybody would be successful.
Everybody would do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you were saying, just to touch on it, it really just brings the balance on like being there's so many barbers, there's so many real estate agents out there, but this is what makes the difference, you know. But in the journey of this, where thanks to my friend, he told me come to Spain because that's where he's normally from, and I went to Spain. He was opening up a barbershop, and this is where I kind of like started noticing where it's like, dude, if I cut hair over here and I'm busy, like you could take this anywhere,
Yeah.
like that's what I mean. Where it's like your journey of an entrepreneur is literally taking every risk there is out there. And before I even say it, he's like, I'm thankful for my wife for being like, go for it. She would always push me, do
Super
it.
supportive.
Yeah,
Shout
always
out to
supportive.
Xochitl.
Yeah, shout out to my wifey out there. And she plays a big role in this whole journey of things.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Would your wife let you go overseas for a month or maybe even 2 months? And it's like now, like, your relationship is like, it's the number one thing for you. You're married, either engaged or you've been together for a long time. You're also your partner needs to understand that in order to move forward, you have to do things. You have to do things that make you uncomfortable, make the relationship uncomfortable, but uncomfortable in a good way.
Yeah.
Not like you're in a room full of women and you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right,
Not
right.
that kind
I
of
don't
way.
think- I don't think anyone's wife's gonna be cool with that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I ended up going out there, and I was out there for about a month to almost 2 months, about that
Nice.
time. And my friend opened up a business over there, a barbershop business. And I went when I went over there, it was completely different. It was first off, it's all Spanish, and it's a different kind of Spanish.
Yeah.
And
So you got to adapt on the fly.
yeah, I had to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went in, set up shop, dude, I'm not even going to lie. I can say from where we're at now, this is the barbershop here. I want to say you look out the window, you go see where Starbucks is. That's how long the line was.
Oh wow.
It was insane. And I was having
So for like a visual reference to those listening to you, it's like a legit city block.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. And it was just, I want to say 2 barbers there. 2 or 3
What?
barbers, yeah.
Wow.
And it was I think it was a 7 to 8 man barbershop, but since it was starting, it was just 3.
Bro,
Yeah. It was insane.
you want to open up a base there, bro?
All right. That's crazy.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the only fact is because everybody, like, it's crazy because when you think of California, this is where a lot of people were saying, like, how my friend was promoting it. It's like, oh, a barber from California came over here.
Yeah.
When you think of California, there's a lot of great barbers. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent out here. And to know that, like, somewhere in the other side of the world acknowledges that, they're like, dude, like, I want to go try this dude out. He came from California,
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Cali.
they're thinking
You know?
Hollywood.
Yeah, 100%.
They're thinking this is where all
This
the
guy's
movie
from
stars.
Beverly
Yeah.
Hills or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I got like it was insane because the way I work out here, my schedule was from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Right. So when I started doing that over there, they all thought I was crazy. The reason why, because everybody gets up at 11. And I'm already over there cutting. And then when I'm telling somebody that's new, it's like, oh, I could get you at 7 a.m. He's like, 7 a.m.
I'm asleep at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Hey, is that really the norm? I didn't know
It's
that.
a
Yeah.
different lifestyle
Oh, wow.
out there,
It's
bro.
a different lifestyle,
That's what I'm
100%.
saying. Like the U.S. is we 24/7.
Dude,
Yeah.
if
Other
you
parts of the world, they're lazy.
Literally, if you go out anywhere, literally, even if go to Mexico, literally, you'll notice it, the difference. You'll notice it. The way we
Doesn't-
work out
doesn't
here.
Spain? Don't mean to interrupt. Doesn't Spain have like crazy like the lunchtime?
Yeah.
Isn't it like
That's what I was gonna
like
get
you get
to,
a nap,
too.
right? It's
Yeah.
like a two. It's
So-
time, bro. You get time to eat and like
You
take
have
a
4
nap.
hours.
Yeah.
To
So
yourself,
kind of like
your
in
family.
Japan too
It's
and stuff like that. Like there's
No,
like,
I think Japan they work, bro.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think
I'm
they
not-
take
I'm
any
not
breaks.
sure. Yeah.
okay.
But
well,
it-
continue.
It's like
Europe's very like laid back.
it's yeah. 100%.
It's also why their economy is not that strong.
But then like the crazy thing that people live like honestly comfortably,
Yeah.
healthy.
yeah,
You know, you see a lot of
100%.
people over there. A lot of them are not like they're pretty fit. And they're always at the gym. They're always either walking around, getting their
Mhm.
steps in. But we're too busy to get a meal in out here.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No.
Like-
yeah.
That's a crazy thing that I seen that the difference between our hustle to their hustle out there, bro. Like we'd be probably millionaires out there the way we were here.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
It's a big difference. And then when I was working there, learning the whole siesta time, all this stuff,
Yeah.
I was working through the siesta time, not even knowing. I was like, bro, like you have this long line out of nowhere, 2 o'clock hits, boom. It's like freaking Thanos snapped his finger. Where the heck is everybody at? You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
But then it's like they go back home, family time.
Yeah.
They take a nap or whatever they had, personal life, literally.
right on, and I know that you cut up a couple of stars out there. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that also following the Spain trip was I went to England after that.
Mhm.
When I went to England, I got to know some of the Argentinian players because of my friend
Soccer
Ganga, too.
players.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
if you look him up, he's like a worldwide like tattoo artist. He's really good at what he does,
Nice.
and he's a great entrepreneur. So this is where he came about. He did all of Otamendi's tattoos. So
He's an Argentinian national soccer player.
Okay.
Yeah.
he's a defender. And then when we went to England, we got picked up by him. I didn't know we were supposed to go to a Manchester City game,
Gotcha.
and our flight got delayed, and we didn't make it to the game. But we just got picked up by some like. In the beginning, I didn't know who it was. I was like, damn, look at this car. It's a Rolls Royce. It's nice, you know. Next thing you know, he comes out. I'm like, he's here to pick us up. I was like, oh shoot, yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, it was him?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then we ended up going over there. I have some of the stories on my Instagram, the little highlights. We barbecued and literally like probably the best barbecue I've had is an Argentinian style.
Mhm.
I always tell my Argentinian friends, dude, invite me to one of your
Yeah.
cookouts, bro.
Barbecue.
You know what I mean? And then from there, I got to meet his family. Great people, good people. Very, very. They showed me a lot of hospitality. I met their kids. I met Kun Agüero. I met his
Another
lady.
Argentinian
Mm.
Yeah.
international.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we were just chilling, having some beers, eating, and then happened to be where I ended up even cutting them. And then I was supposed to dye Kun Agüero's hair, but I was barely starting. You know what I mean? Like dyeing hair.
Yeah.
So I was texting my wife, time difference. I was like,
is
"Hey,
this how I
what
do
do I
this?"
do?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But luckily for me, like the store was closed, so I was like,
Cool.
"Thank God, bro! I would
You
have
got
gone
saved.
viral. This
You got
guy
saved by the bell.
freaking burned." You know
That's
what I
funny,
mean?
man. And if I'm not mistaken, I know he used to for sure listen to his music. You told me the story about Chris Brown.
Oh yeah.
You cut up Chris Brown.
Nice.
So when I
You flew him in.
when I came back, we were doing like this is before COVID.
Yeah.
We were doing a whole trip. I want to say I was there for maybe 3 weeks. We were just like busy the whole time
Mm-hmm.
with doing haircuts. He was doing his tattoos, getting to meet a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this: when you sit down in a room full of like successful people, you start feeling like, dang, dude, like I need to get my things
Mhm.
together. You know what I mean? Like I need to really like lock in. And this is where, like I said, everything was born. where the mindset now, I was like, okay, I need to start like moving how they're moving. I need to like pick their mind, do this, like how, like if like we're sitting here, you have to pick somebody's mind where it's like he has more or his success speak for it, you know.
Yeah.
So when I was sitting in a room full of those people, it makes you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like
I'm
dude,
the outcast.
yeah, like I took the wrong turn. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
How the
exactly.
heck did I end up here?
Because you're kind of realizing, like, the regardless, being around celebrities or
Yeah,
athletes, you're kind of like, you want to have respect,
one thousand
especially if
percent.
you're cutting hair. You're there to do a
Yeah,
service, right? Or you're even just hanging out as friends. It's like you kind of got to get rid of that fandom,
yeah, 100%.
and then you start picking up. Like, I totally understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah,
all right, how do I make this a regular?
exactly.
And not to knock the people that you're already friends with,
Yeah,
but it's like it's very important who you surround yourself
one
with.
thousand percent.
Yeah.
And this is the thing where it's like I met I met a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes, and I met their barbers too. And for me, it's not a competition out there. I respect every single person that either if you have a chance to cut either any 49er player, any athlete in general, any celebrity, like by all means, go for it, brother. Keep going, like keep feeding yourself because at the end of the day, where I want to come back to is like success is out there for everybody.
Hmm.
I'm not a person that, would uh shit on like their dream.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
for
I
sure.
love seeing
It's sad
people
to see
grow.
that there is people out there,
Yeah.
but 100,
Yeah.
1000%, bro. That's, we share that same vision with
Yeah.
you. There's enough business to go out
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah.
And we're gonna transition here into another question.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your European trip and
I think we got a good like evolution, Rod.
Yeah.
As his journey into the beauty industry,
Yeah.
into being a barber and like being a owner of a hair studio. Um, yeah, I mean, shoot, man, I should maybe I should have been a barber.
no, it suits definitely your personality, I have to
Oh
say.
man,
But
I'd be giving
he's a
everyone.
talker.
I'd be giving everyone buzz cuts for sure.
but man, like going back into real estate now.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think this is how we're gonna end the podcast.
Yeah.
You're renting right now.
Yeah.
And what I obviously we always talk about real estate on the chair, or we have
Yeah.
multiple occasions.
Yeah.
I know right now you're kind of on the fence and stuff
Yeah.
with different things going on, and you have so much going on for yourself,
Yeah.
which is completely okay.
Yeah.
There's going to be a time where you're going to be ready to make that move into home ownership. What is your vision? What is your thoughts on home ownership?
Yeah.
And what's next for you now that you do have a wife and you're a
Little
father
baby
now.
girl, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where I could share my 2 cents in. It's like me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's we don't want to start off so big to where you get a dream house. Because at the end of the day, I want to build property. I want to own multiple properties. And the way I'm thinking about it and going is first off, I want to increase and keep developing my business to have more of a successful, and on top of that, have more income coming in without me physically doing it, behind the chair all the time. So also my wife being a business owner, we're thinking equally the same. So my thought process behind that is we want to start off small, get our foot into the door and somewhere, and we love the Concord area.
Mhm.
So you can't find anything under like 800 out here. You know what I mean? Unless you find something that 600 is a big fixer upper. But like we're thinking where it's like it's also priorities, like in our agenda, I haven't said this yet, but we're working on expanding the business. We're working on expanding base, and in the future, we're working on expanding hers. But this is where it comes down to. I feel like everybody has a different priority list, but in our sense, it's like we would love to have a house. We would love to, but it's like times is hard. On top of that, it's like when you're doing things that you wanna increase your business, you want to either have a more steady income or just have something to passive income. That's what you want to call
Yeah.
it. You want to have more passive income, where it's like now if you're not working, anything can happen. Especially what we do, you break your arm, anything, you
Yeah.
get sick, and then here comes a mortgage. So it's like, and this is for every barber, every entrepreneur that does this. It's like think about how to go about it, and if you have enough money saved up, like you gotta go for it. Like if it's your calling, if it's your priority, if you find a good deal in the house, do it. Because not all great deals come twice.
Yeah.
you know?
And I
Yeah.
think that's something, I know we didn't get too much into it, and it may be something that is an obvious, but to build a business like yourself, like you mentioned about, you know, doing like the photoshopping, how the studio, the hair studio is going to look like, that all costs money
A hundred
that you had
percent.
to pay for.
Yeah.
See, what a lot of people don't know is you may be in the strip mall, but it's
Yeah.
like you had to, the lease is with the owner of the building,
Yeah.
but then that lease just covers the space.
Yeah.
Like it's up to
Nothing
you
else,
to build
yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Right. And that's money out of
That's the thing.
your
Yeah,
pocket,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. That's the thing where like I want to say people see what came out, right? With the finished outcome. But they don't see the amount of work you put in either before hours, after hours, personal time, your time off. You're never off.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure you guys can relate
Yeah.
too, And it's like that's where it's like okay, like this is where it comes into priorities. I know barbers out there that rent and own their house. They went and got a house, which is fine too. It's like, but it all depends on like your priorities now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's a big financial, it's taking on another
Yeah.
financial obligation.
Yeah.
You gotta live somewhere, right? So it's gonna
100%.
cost.
Yeah.
But to your point, if you're looking to like expand the business, if you're looking to you know, keep the business afloat, you gotta make sure you have the reserves before you
Yeah.
jump into
Fully into
into
homeownership.
maybe
Yeah.
getting a home.
One
Right?
thousand percent.
Yeah, and like, yeah, right now you're renting at whatever you're renting at,
Yeah.
right? And to your point, mortgage is going to be more than whatever that rent
Yeah.
is. So it's like, when do I make that leap?
Yeah.
When do I feel comfortable to make that leap?
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
But then you also see what's going on in the real world.
Yeah.
Here specifically, prices right now, they're not going up, right?
No.
They're
No, they're
they're
staying.
pretty much stable.
I think
Stable.
you know.
Yeah,
the-
I mean, if you're gonna be, it's all location too, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
Exactly. That's what I
yeah,
was about to say too.
Concord, you're gonna, if you want, something decent to your expectation, you're probably gonna be, closer to 7
Yeah.
and up for something where you don't have to do tons of work,
Yeah.
right? Maybe some flooring and paint. And then you got taxes, and you have this, you
Yeah.
have a newborn,
Yeah.
you got rent for the businesses, for the shops. It's like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be quite overwhelming, right? So, I mean, I totally understand. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely one of those things where, like we say it all the time, it's not bad to rent,
No.
right? It's okay to rent, especially if you have a situation that's maybe allowing you to advance
Yeah.
what you're
In your
currently
business.
doing.
Yeah.
and stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
But to Victor's point is, there is a point where, yeah, it might be a little scary to make that jump into homeownership. But now, as like for me and Victor, like as business owners
Yeah.
and homeowners, like we have untapped equity to help
Yeah.
our business. if the
100%.
business
That's
needed
what we
help,
spoke
right?
about
Yeah.
too.
Right?
Like
It's all risk.
It's
You
all
just- you
risk.
really
Yeah.
think
Everything is
literally,
risk.
Yeah.
And so that's and I know like you tell me a little bit here and there of your financials and stuff. In my what have I always said to you?
Jump in-
ready.
Yeah. Jump into
You're
it.
ready because I know you're not going to pay whatever the home costs right now. You're not
Yeah.
going to pay that
Yeah.
in the near future.
Yeah.
And as soon as rates come down, man, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think you're doing
Yeah.
big things, and
yeah,
it's
regardless of what you decide, bro,
Yeah.
I support you.
Yeah.
You know that. I've
it's
always
just,
told
it's
you.
just a
Thank you,
matter.
bro.
It's
Yeah.
just a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's just the game plan.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
that's
a game
like
plan.
that's how I want to say like I want to say that's the keyword.
Yeah.
Go in with a game plan. If you're gonna get a house, or if you're gonna go with a business, or if you're gonna go on a freaking vacation,
Yeah.
go in with a game plan all the time. It's like have it all like laid out so you don't go in blindly. Do the numbers, do all this like so you can afford it or afford the expenses, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just got to commit to it.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it is too, because that's what's scary.
You got
know?
the game. Yeah, you can have the game plan, but if you don't
Yeah.
do it, then what's the point, right?
That's what I tell Victor. I was like, man, like, like I still want to travel. I still want to do stuff. I love going to Tahoe in the summer. I love going to places. Even my wife, this is the first year that we're just in the house and we're like, dude, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got a little one now.
Yeah.
Life changes now.
It does,
Now
yeah.
that perspective is like, you'll start seeing it month after month. You know,
Yeah.
we're being newer dads ourselves. It's like we heard about it all the time. I
Yeah.
have buddies that had kids, and like, you see their lives kind of change, and then, we have our daughter, and it's like, you kind of see like, oh, this is what they
Yeah.
were talking about.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate your parents a little bit more
100%.
too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
You'll be catching me in Disney. And maybe in the Michelada section
Oh,
over there, bro.
man.
Yeah, bro. No, but whenever that time comes, bro, you know who to hit up.
No, yeah.
I
Always-
just gotta throw that.
always
Literally.
stay close then.
Yeah.
Well, Rod, man, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you sharing your journey. Like I said, if you're not following him and his hair studio, so it's on IG, it's at base hair studio _, and then it's at base rod, BASEROD _. Make sure you follow him. If you're looking for a good barber in the Contra Costa area, definitely go check out Base Hair Studio as well. It's definitely a vibe when you step in
Thank you.
there.
Give us your
Appreciate it.
wife's handle
Yeah,
as well
also-
for all the ladies out there. She does.
Yeah, she's really good. She was going the crazy thing, she was going viral before going on maternity, which is like through TikTok, which is hecka funny. Like it was on the live before we end the podcast. If you're looking for somebody out there, hit on my wife. She has a salon, Beauty XO Studio. Her handle is Beauty XO, and check out her work. And she has 2 other women in there that are as good. Check them out.
Let's get them busy because
Yeah.
Victor needs to help him buy a house. That's what we do. And with that, we look forward to
So winning with you.